It's me, Hattie, and today I am back with part 1 of Let's Play Witches. So, this is now part 1. If you haven't seen any of the stuff that I've put up before now, explain the characters or anything, all the links for the other videos will be below, whether it's the introduction, the trailer, the speed builds, etc. You can go and find it there. But today is a very, very special day, or night rather. And it's actually Elizabeth who is organising something very, very special, which is going to happen today, or no, actually, well, technically today. Yeah, it's going to happen around the morning time. And what it is Elizabeth is going to throw a party. And she wants to throw a party for the new witches and wizards that have just entered the town, and she really wants to make them feel welcome. Now, what Elizabeth doesn't want to do is she doesn't want to invite absolutely everybody to that party. And the reason why is she feels like one particular individual would not enjoy dancing. She's warming up right now. She's thinking it's going to be an absolute amazing party. But there is one person, and that is Agatha. Agatha is not going to go today, and that is because Elizabeth does not want anybody spoiling the day. And she feels like Agatha, who lives across the road down here, would be such a disruption at this party. I mean, Agatha is a nice character in a way. She looks out for people, and she is part of the elders. She's part of the same group as Elizabeth, and she's in here, but of course Elizabeth's the leader. But she's just going to keep the party a little bit quiet. So she's going to invite people around to the house, and she's getting some food ready. She's preparing in the kitchen because I really wanted to cook some stuff. So she's going to cook some chocolate cakes, and let's see what else, because it's going to take a while for the guests to actually get here. So let's see, what would witches and wizards eat? Grilled cheese? No. Just white cakes, just loads and loads of food. Nobody else is helping her with it. It's a little bit of a shame, but she's really just doing it by herself. The other girls are over here, so they're all sat with Marielle, the Supreme Witch, of course, and she's really stealing the spotlight. She is the spotlight. I mean, she just really lightens up a room when she's in there. I don't know if it's because of what she's wearing. I think what we're going to do is we are going to put some Sims into this group. Now, we can't fill all the places just yet. In fact, no, I might do that in a different part. But these witch places will be eventually taken, but it's just right now they're not. But anyway, Marielle would be incredibly excited because her crush is coming, and she doesn't know a lot about him, but she would definitely like to know a lot about Adam, and he seems like a nice character. She really doesn't know much, so all of his traits are unknown, and his career is unknown. They're acquaintances, and he's a young adult. So I think that's pretty much how he is with everybody. But the reason why he's going to come to this massive party is because he's paying for it. He's actually paying for the whole thing. He pays for this whole neighborhood, and he's very, very generous. But he does. He funds the witch training school, and he makes sure that they're okay for money. They can afford extensions on the houses. They can afford parties, and it really helps them out. So, of course, he has to be there today. Looks like Marielle is creating a friend here. So, Vivian Dorsey. She is a new sim that I put in. So, I don't think I did a create a sim of her, but I really can't remember. So, Vivian is just a new character. And, yeah, we have some new characters. It's pretty good. Pretty interesting. So, Elizabeth is just occupied out here. I think that she would like to speak to Adam Farewell. And not in a romantic way or anything like that, because Elizabeth isn't allowed to have a romantic love interest. And I don't think she would anyway. But I think it's the fact that she really wants to be able to ensure that they could get a little bit more money out of him. And not to be nasty or anything, she just wants to keep him in a really good place because he has been very, very generous so far. So I think she's going to cook some more things, and of course that's going to get a skill up. And that is really a big part of the Let's Play to begin with anyway, because a lot of creating the witchiness about the characters is the fact that they do have advanced skills, and the skills is really what makes them a witch. And it basically means that when you have a human in The Sims, how I like to look at it is, if there was a human sim, then they wouldn't be as skilled as some of the witches are. Now, Elizabeth isn't actually that skilled right now. She more or less focuses on the other witches, and that's because her powers have faded away over time. She's not as powerful as Agatha and a lot of other people, but she's a good leader, so she is a good leader. Whereas her daughter Marielle, she really does rely on her daughter if she needs anything, if she needs a spell or anything, because Marielle is very, very advanced in some skills, and the witches that have just arrived aren't really that advanced, so I don't know, maybe Elizabeth will eventually get some of her powers back, we shall see, but at the moment, no, she's not very powerful. She's more focused on being a leader and being a teacher. And with being a teacher, you sometimes forget your own power capabilities. But anyway, so it's 5:20 a.m. and Elizabeth is now eating her Franks and beans. That's supposed to be for the guests. Oh my goodness, what is she like? What is she like? What I'm going to do though is I'm going to put them all to bed, and in the morning then they're going to wake up and they're going to have this massive party, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so it's now morning and Marielle and Elizabeth are in the house whilst the witch girls are out at ordinary school. And they have to be out at ordinary school because they have to be able to fit in a normal situation. Now, why are these lights out? I don't understand why. Okay, power shut off the bills. So, yeah, she needs to get Adam Farewell round. It's about time for a party. So she's going to pay these bills and we're just going to get them out of the way. I sometimes wish that they would just pay automatically. Of course, in the daytime, the town doesn't look that pretty. It really does come alive at night, and the party is going to be probably from about 4:30 onwards, and that is just because the girls are home from normal school, and that is when they can really meet the wizards. It's really important that they do meet the wizards this time because it is the tradition that they will have to eventually date the wizards when they're a little bit older or something. So yeah, it's pretty important that they do that because otherwise there could be a curse put on the village, and we don't want that, of course. And that's the same with Marielle and Damien, they have to. That's what really could put a curse on the village though, if those two don't get married. That would be terrible. But yeah, so I think that Marielle may want to invite Adam round a little bit in advance. I think that she would start to panic because she's been a Supreme for about 30 years. And I think that right now, she's worried about having to step down and she doesn't want to. Now, this is somebody that she is completely obsessed over. She really, really is. She's a very obsessive, evil person. And, oh, he's pretty sad. Oh, he's sad. He doesn't want to come round. He doesn't want to come round. He's like, oh no, I really don't want to be here. Please, I just want to go home. So, I don't know why. Maybe he's sad because he has to be out in daylight. That would be pretty upsetting for Adam. He doesn't really like to go out in the daytime, so yeah, maybe that would make him sad. I don't know. Fits in perfectly with his character role though. So I think that she would maybe speak to him. Marielle's just very manipulative. She would come up with reasons as to why he had to come round, and yeah, he's really not liking her at the moment. He's really not liking her cheering him up. So he's a very, very gloomy sim. And I think that maybe she would have called him out on an emergency or something. Maybe she would have said, actually, I really need you to be here as soon as possible. It's urgent. And then he'd get here and then there'd be nothing to do. So yeah, maybe he would be a little bit annoyed. So there is a rainbow firefly in this terrarium. Oh, okay. So Elizabeth was downstairs. She was actually looking after Marielle's dungeon. So if you haven't seen this before, this is where Marielle's dungeons is. And if you're ever wondering what Elizabeth is covering for Marielle, her daughter, it's really this. I don't know why Marielle would bring... Why would she bring Adam down here? Oh, but then again, it's pretty private. Like, he would never see the dungeons. He'd only see this room. So maybe she would try and bring him into her most secret place where she feels exceptionally happy and show him her cow plant. Yeah. So the cow plant's here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's happy. Oh, she cheered him up. Okay. That's really nice, though. He is playing with the cow plant and he's gone really playful now. So that was a nice way to cheer him up. Elizabeth isn't here. I think that Marielle may be rude to her mother a little bit. And, oh, then again, they're best friends, though. They are absolute best friends. But... oh no, they haven't become best friends yet. I think they will, but maybe Elizabeth would get the hint that Marielle would like to be alone with Adam up here, or down there actually. But Elizabeth would be probably telling Adam about the power, because she just had to switch the power off. But she's going to continue baking because we want loads and loads of food for this event. So breadsticks, what else can she get? Hire a caterer. I don't know if they'd hire anybody to the house because I don't think that they would want to hire somebody if, I don't know, it's a witch house. Maybe if it was a witchy person turning up, we'll see. I think we'll hire a caterer, and if the person looks witchy enough, then they can stay, but if they're not witchy enough, then they can't stay. So Miranda Landgrab's turned up. Well, maybe Miranda Landgrab would be somebody that would cook and turn a blind eye. So I think this should be fine as a caterer just for the night, and yeah, we can get that sorted. So the girls are back really, really soon. They're back at 3 o'clock, and that's where we're going to start the party, and the party's going to go on till night time. And I just want to see if anybody else is in the neighbourhood, because maybe Elizabeth would start inviting some of the witches over a little bit earlier. Not Agatha, because she's not going to invite Agatha today. She really doesn't want to, and that is just because she would spoil a lot of things. There's loads of knights in the town, so yeah, I put loads and loads of just random spooky people in the town. So if you do actually want to create anybody for it, then you of course can. I'll actually make a hashtag that you could maybe make some townies for it if you want to, and that could be pretty interesting. But now the girls are back from school, we are going to have a party. So we're going to invite people, and Elizabeth is going to be arranging it. So she's going to go onto this menu and she's going to plan a social event. So that is what her day is going to consist of. And yeah, we're going to invite as many people as we possibly can to the social event. She's too busy talking to Marielle. And we have another witch down here. I think that I introduced her, but yeah. Anyway, she's one of the secondary witches. So, right, let's see. What kind of bash would it be? I don't know. Bash, party. It'll probably be a house party. And I think that we could invite a lot of people. If it gets to the point where we don't have enough places for people, then I'm just going to invite them manually. So we'll do that. The host is going to be Elizabeth the Old Witch, and she is going to be inviting... she's not going to invite Agatha. She will invite Eve, Hartia, all these witch girls, Amelia as well. The girls that are already in a house, of course. She's going to invite those two, and I think that she's going to invite the wizards. Now, the wizards I'll have to do manually because Elizabeth hasn't really got to know them yet. So now more guests have started to arrive, and some randomers are showing up as well, and that is just because I invited pretty much the whole neighbourhood. So I think that everybody in the neighbourhood will be attending this apart from Agatha. So anybody supernatural, anybody that doesn't want to show their identity yet is probably wearing one of those night costumes. I was thinking of joining the witches. No, Bella Goth, you cannot join the witches. So it's getting later, and I think that the wizards are on their way. So it took me a while, but I've managed to get them in the house, or at least their group is arriving. So there'll be some wizards here. Adam Fairwell has decided to come back, probably because Marielle rang him and asked. Maybe we should just throw this person out because I'm not even sure if he's a witch or a wizard. I don't think that he should be here, so maybe she would be friendly and ask him to leave. I don't know if we can do that. Can we actually do that? No, we can't. I think he's okay as long as he's just here to have some cake, and maybe he is. Maybe he's just in a strange disguise that no one knows about. Now, as for the witches, I really, really want some of them to come down and speak to the wizards because it would be very, very highly appreciated by Elizabeth, because this was really the whole aim, to get the witches and the wizards together, and they would be speaking to each other. So yeah, they would go off together and they would go and speak. Now let's try and find another wizard for the other one. Okay, so there's another wizard here. Okay, they're all here, and that will mean that Damien will be on his way. So I think that maybe the main thing for Marielle to do would be, of course, to go and find Damien, because she does actually need to speak to him. But Adam's over here. And he's by himself. He doesn't want to be here. He really, really doesn't. In fact, the more people turning up, the more he doesn't want to be here. And he's getting very, very funny with people. He does not want to be here. So I think that I'm going to get Marielle over, and she's going to flirt with Adam instead. Even though that she should probably be speaking to her future husband, Damien. And she just doesn't care. She really, really doesn't care about Damien. And she's not afraid to really show everybody how she feels in front of them. So she really, really doesn't care who sees. And we've got some other witches here. We have the Elder Witch Eve, and we have Hartia. She's another Elder Witch, and yeah, we have some more people. So they are just down here, and I feel like something is going to kick off. And yeah, the girls just really have to socialize with the wizards. It's the main thing to do. And I think that what they'll do next time is they'll probably go out nightclubbing with them or something to try and get them together, because it's really important that they do socialize with them. Now, where is Marielle? She's talking to Adam upstairs in front of absolutely everybody. So I think that she's probably going to flirt with him in front of everyone, which is really going to annoy some people. And it would definitely annoy Agatha if she was here, because Agatha absolutely hates this sort of stuff. And she knows that Marielle has a duty to marry Damien, and if she doesn't, it's going to cause massive, massive problems. But of course, her mum doesn't really care at the moment. So yeah, it's mainly just covering for a daughter, and she wants her daughter to be happy. So of course, Adam is very, very romantic, and they have romantic interactions going on. It's going so perfectly as well. So she really doesn't want Adam to find out too much about her. So she wants to be very, very nice with him. Because I think that if Adam found out half the things that Marielle has done, I don't think that he would like her. She has done some terrible things in the past. She manipulates people. She's locked people away in her secret basement. And I don't think that he'd be into that, to be quite honest. I don't think many people would be. But no, Adam would be very, very scared by that. He is a loner. He doesn't really like people anyway. So it's a massive deal for him to come to this event. It absolutely is. And I don't know what changed his mind, but he must like somebody at the event. So something rather peculiar just happened, and of course Agatha has visited the house and she unfortunately set it on fire. They did manage to sort it though, so this is really after, well, the aftermath of what's happened, and I don't think that it would really affect the witches that much. That's why some of them are quite happy. I mean, Elizabeth's happy, and she feels as if maybe she feels a little bit bad for Agatha being left out, but because they're witches, they don't really see fire as a big deal. So even though it might have been a little bit frightening at the time, I don't think that they're too frightened by it, and she's actually going to invite Agatha over to the current household. And I think she's going to speak to her. She's going to say, look, I'm sorry I didn't invite you, but I just thought that it wasn't your cup of tea. I didn't think that you'd enjoy this event at all, and I didn't think that you would be able to fit in very well here, and it would just be really out your comfort zone. So didn't mean to offend you. She's sleeping. Isn't that convenient? So she obviously doesn't want to come to the party. Crazy Agatha. What can I say about Agatha? I think the best thing to do is probably invite Agatha round in the morning. It looks like everybody's heading out, and that is probably a little bit of a mix between what's happened and a little bit of a mix because the night is sort of over. It's past 12 and yeah, everyone's heading home. It was a really stressful night, to be quite honest. Poor Elizabeth, she went to all this effort to make all those cakes. How many were even eaten? I don't even know. I don't think she even called it to a meal. Oh my goodness. I actually forgot. But there is a wizard staying here, or in fact 2 wizards. So that's a little bit convenient. So I think that we're going to get the girls that are awake to come in, speak to them and ask to hang out with them. Maybe after the event. even though this one's gone to sleep now, so she's going to wake up, and I need to learn her name. What is her name? Her name is Vivian. This one's Devin, and this one is Eliona. Okay, I don't know what this girl's doing. She's actually asleep. Okay, she's just so tired, and they all are, and I think they just need to really think about the events that's happened here. And I think that in part 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a whole witch meeting between the elders, because Elizabeth needs to talk to Agatha now. Agatha is obviously very angry at Elizabeth for not inviting her, and it's all going to kick off, and I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave part 1 here, and I will see you all in part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you all soon.